When we are talking about expressions and equations, it's important to know the vocabulary for the different terms or parts of the equation. So a constant is the number part of the equation. So any numbers, positive or negative, fractions or decimals. A variable, that's the letter part of the equation. It can change based on the situation that the equation or expression represents. Operations, just like always, adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Numerical coefficient is the number that is mushed in front of the variable. So for the example 4x, that means I would be multiplying 4 by whatever the value of the variable x is. An expression can have variables and numbers, and it has an operation. An equation also has variables and numbers, but it includes an equal sign. We have the expression a number plus 4 written in words. To write it as a mathematical expression, I'll use a letter n to represent the variable of the unknown number, plus 4. So this would be the mathematical expression that matches with a number plus 4. A number subtract 7 could be represented with the mathematical expression that looks like this. To represent the expression a number multiplied by 3, many of us would think that we would write it like this, a number multiplied by 3. It can get confusing to have the variable n and the operation multiply, which also looks like a letter x. So when we are writing a number multiplied by 3, we're not going to write it like this. The proper mathematical way would be to write 3n. When the numerical coefficient is mushed with the variable, there's no operation in between, that means that we are multiplying 3 by the variable of n. To write the expression a number divided by 5, we'll use n as our variable, divided by 5. To represent the equation 7 times a number plus 6, remember we will use the numerical coefficient of 7 mushed with the variable n to represent 7 times a number, and then plus 6. To represent 12 subtract a number divided by 2 as a mathematical expression, we'll start with 12 and then subtracting a number divided by 2. We want to make a mathematical equation to represent a number plus 10 equals 17. The word equals tells us that we need to have an equal sign in our equation, and we are not writing an expression. So a number plus 10 equals 17. 4 times a number subtract 3 is 9. This is part tells us that 4 times a number subtract 3 is equal to 9, so that tells us that we also have an equation here. 4 times a number subtract 3 is equal to 9.